What's up? Monday.
For the love of good music, it is Miguel, Wiz Khalifa, Adorn. Starfm sounding good all the time. Hope your Monday is so far so good. And I actually hope that we're making it better right here on Starfm. If you're at work, thank you so much for actually plugging in your earphones or actually putting on that office radio. I appreciate that. You can also hit us up if you're listening to us from work and tell us which office. Hit us up and talk to us. So we are getting into a segment that we call Money Mondays because we want to make that paper and we want to know from people who have done it, who have actually built from the ground zero going up. How do they do it? How do you do it? Is it even possible, or you have to have a huge capital? Can you actually start something, and can it be built to something bigger? Is it even feasible? So it is your motivational business guide with entrepreneurs and business people on how they built their businesses. Joining us back in the studio because last week was so good, we had to bring him back to actually elaborate, explain to us, give us the practical side of business further. It is George Munengo, Pro Air Conditioners. He is a multi-award-winning businessman. He is a CEO and founder of Proverbs Investment, founder and managing director of Pro Air Zimbabwe, as well as board member of Spidex Media. And he went to Zimix Small University. Hey, George.
V Candy, what's good? How's everybody? And this is the best show to be listening to every single day of the week. V Candy Star FM.
Oh, there you said it. How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. Up and about with work. This weather's not behaving, so we have to make sure people are cool wherever they are.
It's your time to thrive. When the weather is like this, everyone is complaining. That's where you step in.
True that.
Which team do you support, by the way?
I support Manchester United.
Okay, in the same boat. It's all right.
Yeah, it is what it is. Those other Reds were a bit happy when we had our loss, but yesterday, it was their day.
The Lord had it.
Yes.
They feel the same way.
True that.
So we're also live on Facebook. It is a Star FM Zimbabwe, the Facebook page. Last week, George, we were talking about the importance of not despising small beginnings. Yeah.
True that.
And also the importance of relationships and just the practical side of business. So we are back at it again. Now that you had started your business and you were daring enough to go for it, to resign, to leave your job and to stand on your own 2 feet as a man, how did you manage to sustain the business and stay relevant in the industry? How did you sustain? Because you're still here. How long have you been operating?
Right, so we've been in business for 9 years, providing, heating and cooling solutions for people. But one of the greatest things to people, no matter what business you're into, I always say this, you're only as rich as your relationships. So business is sustained by people and depending on how you maintain those relations. So the people I used to sell phones at Zimex Mall, where I used to sell paint, when I used to sell a lot of things, those are the same people that I need in my life today. They will always constantly support you. So the most important thing, especially to sustain a business, is to be able to own and manage relationships. I love the Bible. It says a good name is better than riches. So when you have a good name, people will always support you because they know you're honest. They know what you say is what you do. And that's what ultimately sustains your business. Besides the hard work ethic, it's important because so the way you handle people, no matter what business you do, be so good to people so that, that's what will uplift your business. I say the greatest form of marketing on planet Earth is word of mouth. Tingaite advertising, this, that, and the other. But when people recommend, refer, and talk well about your business, that's the best form of advertising in the world.
Relationships. You have to be a people person. So how about a person or good team? Because it's not our strengths, like everyone's strengths, a good team. You're able to deal with people. Are you saying that if you are a business person, you actually have to work on people's skills for you to be successful? Do you have to be deliberate and intentional to know kuti ndifana kufadza mutengi.
It's so important because you know what, if you're not good at that, this is why we have people who work for us. You need to have people who are going to, you know, I went to a shop this last weekend, and the experience and from the shop put me off so much that I wanted to buy the product. But because shop marco in your business who don't treat people well, people will shun away from your business. And chinchakai pachino spread faster than chakanaka. Saka, you know, if you're not the greatest person who can do that, shanda nevano vane good people skills vanosekerera munhu kana apinda mushop vasingaunzi mamudzi ekumba kubasa, people who are able just to make sure kuti your work environment is bubbly. Kana munhu atoya kushop kwako achida kutenga, they should be treated like kings because ndo vanhu vanokuitisa mari. So it's important, if you're not that person, tsvaga vanhu vanogona kuva that front for you, who then uplift your business because of the PR that they're getting.
And as far as competition is concerned, because Panama business, even for someone who's trying to get into something, already there's someone who's doing it. How do you deal with competition and to set yourself apart? Because with what you're doing, there are a lot of people who are doing it. And in so many cases, you get discouraged with or something. How do you deal with competition?
You know, competition is good. When I've had the competition, but it's so important. It's there no matter what you do. And what I love about COVID, V Candy, COVID made people to think outside the box. Saka, before, you know, businesses used to just rely on walk-in customers. And you'll find COVID made people become more knowledgeable about social media. And as a human being, people like convenience. And you found COVID, whatever you wanted, to your doorstep. So businesses had to level up. Saka, in this day and era, kana uine business model yekare. After COVID, you have to upgrade because you'll find chinchese chaunodaga wakaenda pa phone park wakangotypa, you can find it and it can be delivered to you. So to stay ahead of the curve, we did it where we actually go to people's places and regas their cars in the convenience of their homes or offices as a unique selling proposition. Vamwe vanogona kudelivera chikafu, vamwe mabank chai vanogona kutonza even mari kumba kwevanhu. So it's about doing what others aren't doing. For you to have that unique selling proposition, kanitwa watu vana choose you because you're staying ahead of the curve.
Yeah. Which is good. Your WhatsApp is not only for chatting with your friends, with your families, or what to Miranam forwarding means you can actually use that and capitalize and maximize on what you have already, your WhatsApp, talk to the contacts, talk to the clients. Back to the business, for someone who does not have any other source of income, I want to get into this, and they solely depend on business. How does one, George, make sure that they don't eat or spend capital nokuti pane mama expenses anosimuka and a number of people end up using that money, the business money, because they are solely depending on that. How do they ensure kuti the capital Mario your business is business money and you don't put your hand or dip your hand into that?
You know, you're speaking about people who go to work or business people?
Business people.
You know, for business people, like I said last week, I started my first business in summer phrases. And I understood kuti $10 you need to reinvest into the business for your business to continue and ultimately grow. But with people who are not disciplined, they will not grow because chakakosha kuitwa to business rako rikure risimuke. And you have to be able to manage your funds. You have to know what is a luxury and not a luxury. The pressure we have these days, V Candy, unnecessarily, and this is what puts people under pressure. But if you want to run a sustainable business, last week mentors, you've got X amount of money, you need to restock, you need to grow, you need to pay bills, you need to, before you pay yourself. earlier on when we started business, I was the last person to be paid because we had to make sure kuti zvinhu zvese zviri kuenderana the way they should. But majority of people vada kutanga vazviita self-gratification before they make sure that mbinga isi mbinga overnight. Mbinga zvinotora time. But vanhu vada kuti quickly angobata 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. You want to celebrate quickly. But ndo zvinozoita kuti munhu yainzi mbinga today, if you see that person a year or two down the line, you'll see they're not anything at all. We've heard so many stories, vanhu vanowina lotto or win a 1 million. After a year, where is that person today? Because they failed to plan with their money. And I always say, failing to plan is planning to fail. There's not anything that you'll do progressively. So you have to have things that you need to prioritize. We need to restock. We need to pay bills. We need to pay rentals before you spoil yourself. Kunotenga mota inodura or all those other unnecessary things. Business first.
Business comes first before you try and flex and show people, but I've made it. I'm making the money. For someone, George, who's listening and who really wants to start, just 3 points for them to get going. What would you say?
When I grew up, my teachers, I was in the last set weekend kuchikoro. And, teacher said, these type of people won't make it because I loved soccer and I wasn't so academic. But it's not about what people say about you. It's about believing in yourself. It's about making sure no matter what people say. And for me, when I started business, my very closest family member said I will not succeed and I will not make it. And Georgia, business, that's not that's what people think. But God created us all for a specific purpose. And sometimes, education is not everything. I say this to a lot of people, but it's about believing in your dream. And really working hard at it. It's not about, getting all degrees. There's so many people with degrees, but they're not doing anything. It's about following and working on that craft. And sooner than later, I can tell you, you will be successful. So don't listen to other people, what they say about you. Be so confident. Usaende ku university kuda kufadza parents ako chisiri chochinja unofarira kuita. Do what you love to do, and I can guarantee you you will be doing far better than trying to please people.
And another thing, I say 3 points.
All right 3 points. And we without hard work. So these days social media success does not happen overnight. Let's not lie to each other. Success takes time. For us to be where we are, Vikendi, it's 9 years, but we aren't where we want to be. But Patakatanga, we said we want to be the biggest in Zimbabwe. And you know what? We've been working steadily on that. Saka, don't expect things to happen overnight. Don't expect to drive the best car, to fly all over the world. Put in that hard work ethic. Focus. Terero vanu vakaita successful my business, I'll ask them questions, because for me to be where I am, it's a sum total result of vandakagarisa pasi ndakaenda lunch now ndakavunza kuti what did you do for you to be successful, what were the mistakes you made, chicha makaita kuti muzosvika pamuri. And you find success leaves clues. Vanhu vese vari successful vane mari pane zvinhu zvavakaita. And that's the quickest way to be successful. Wakaramba uchitamba nevanhu vekumaraini, vanhu vasina success anywhere in their lives, you will not be successful. But wakatamba nevanhu vane mari, they will tell you, and unoona kana magarira vanoita, zvinhu zvavanoita, what they spend time on. They don't spend too much time watching TV, vanoverenga mabhuku, they never stop learning. And I can tell you, those are the simple things that will change our generation. Instead of kungoswera tichiona masoaps, series, let's learn more. What sacrifices did they make? What did they do for them to be successful? And I can tell you, sooner than later, no, in a year, it takes time. As long as you keep working hard on that craft. Yeah, don't. We're not in competition, Weekend. You have your destiny, I have mine. And learn to celebrate. Don't be quick to be like, Weekend do you, lifestyle yake, and chi. You will work hard on what you do. Ask Weekend, how did you manage to do X, Y, Z? Get that insight instead of kufungira zvinhu zvausingazive, and you'll be surprised. Weekend will tell you a nugget or something. Chinogona kutokubatsira muupenyu and open doors for you. So our young generation really just needs to adapt to learning from those who have gone before us instead of asking for money.
Instead of asking for money, because as you're saying, when a person meets someone who's wealthy, someone who's rich, the first thing they want is to ask him Mondipe or something, Desire or something. And you're actually making a lot of sense, George Kuti. Ask for wisdom, ask for knowledge, for them to impart that, than to ask for money.
Because can also wisdom you handle marriage, it will just get wings and fly away. So wisdom in the Bible, he asked for wisdom, and the wisdom will be able to tell you how to get funds and all these other things you want. My inbox weekend is full of vanhu vandisingamboziva vanongofunga kuti no wakapiwa mari you'll be successful, but that's not it. You have to follow what you love to do, you have to work hard, and you have to ask how to manage some things that will help you to grow and become a better person.
I love that. I hope someone has been helped. This has been Money Mondays, and joining us live in the studio, George Munengwa of Pro Air Conditioners. He is a multi-award-winning businessman and CEO and founder of Proverbs Investment and managing director of Pro Air Zimbabwe. George, where do we find you on social media? On
social media, on all platforms, it's George Billionaire on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. It's George Billionaire. And to everybody, weekend, I say to people, especially our young generation, let's focus. And focus, abbreviated, stands for follow one course until success. Sarambo chungaita zvakawanda ita chino one, because takataura zita rako kazvinofana kutudza kuti no uyu anoita zvakadai. So it's important kuti focus. Don't be a jack of all trades and master of none. Focus amune chinhu chekuti pakanzi George unoziva kuti no anoita izvi, pakanzi Strive Masiwa unoziva kuti anoita izvi, pakanzi Philip Mataranika kuti munhu uyu ndo basa rake nezvaanoita. So let's not try and do too many things. Let's water that one plant ikure. Kana yazokura tozoita hedu zvimwe, but ngatimbofocuse tizikanwe nechinhu ichocho for now until we grow.
I love that, because for a lot of people akona ichiside, because we have business trends in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Kana kwaita chakatobva chichakuita could try, I know, but as you said, focus. An acronym for
follow one course until success.
Wow. George, thank you so much for your time. Until next time, Money Mondays on Starfm. It is the Morning Galaxy. If you missed a part of this, you can catch it live on our Facebook page. It is Starfm, sounding good all the time. Taking our time to exactly 10 o'clock, time for the news.
This is Zimpaper's Radio Broadcasting News.
Good morning, I am Lastwood Mseki.
V Candy in the building.
Secondary Education Permanent Secretary.
Thanks, V Candy.
Sang Tabela says government is carrying out a survey to establish the effects of COVID-19.